This is Blake Atwood with FaithVillage.com. I'm talking with Brad Lomenick, the president and key visionary of Catalyst, a movement that equips and inspires young Christian leaders in many ways, most notably through Catalyst conferences. You know that if you've ever been to a Catalyst conference, it's an unforgettable event that leaves you gasping for air after drinking from the fire hose of knowledge and wisdom presented by world-class speakers across a wide variety of disciplines. So just last week, Brad released his first book, The Catalyst Leader, 8 Essentials for Becoming a Change Maker. I reviewed it on FaithVillage.com and essentially gave it 5 stars. It's a must read. So Brad, thanks for taking time out between Catalyst West and the upcoming Catalyst Dallas conference to talk with us.
Yeah, man. Thanks, Blake. Appreciate the time.
So what was the catalyst for writing The Catalyst Leader? Did it happen in a specific moment, or did it build up year over year?
It's been building, you know. I mean, I think for so many of us, we have to steward, you know, the place where we are in life. And for me, I've always been behind the scenes and been the guy that was, you know, backstage and never felt like I had a book to write or needed to write a book or, you know, felt called or really prompted to write a book. But several friends probably 3 years ago started saying, hey, you know, you should think about taking some of the lessons you've learned and sharing those in some sort of formal way with the Catalyst community, because there's a lot of things that you've been able to watch and be a part of and see. So that was, you know, a lot of it was just really close friends getting in my grill a little bit and saying, it's time for you to steward what you've been given. And the other thing is that I feel like there's a new generation that's coming up that I really want to see lead now and lead well. And you know, there's a lot of leaders who I'm seeing that are younger than me. I just turned 40. A lot of leaders in their 20s and 30s who I feel like are being given huge amounts of responsibility, and they're stepping into roles that are paramount, and they really feel passionate about it, and they feel called to it, and they feel like we're going to go change the world. But unfortunately, they haven't been well equipped for some of these responsibilities they've been given. So with that, I feel like that hopefully this book is a roadmap. It's a guide. It's some sense of a curriculum and a you know, a stimulus to help them lead well. And so that's a huge part of my heart, is to make sure that the next generation is leading now and leading well, but also finishing well. And that, you know, if they're starting well and they're doing their best to lead effectively now in their 20s and 30s, that when they're 60, 70, 80, they're going to look back and they're going to have a legacy that's significant. You know, and the other thing too is that I'm seeing a lot of my peers who are sort of flaming out at the midlife of their leadership journey, and I just don't want to see that happen. I want us all to be able to finish the race well. And so again, you know, for the 22 to 45-year-old leader, that's really who I have in mind. And not that, you know, a 55-year-old is not going to necessarily be impacted. I hope they will, but my heart is really for that first half leader.
So how challenging was it to limit the book to just 8 essentials? And
really hard.
Were there any essentials that you left out that you wish could have made the cut?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we covered everything because we tried to make these essentials somewhat broad in nature, enough that there was a sense that lots of other things fit under them. Mm-hmm. You know, I think the issue of just in general influence, you know, and what does that mean? Well, influence usually comes from these 8 essentials, mm-hmm. but influence would be one that, again, you could sort of put over here and say, well, what does that look like? You know, what does it mean to influence people well? Hopefully it's broad enough that it fits underneath the 8. I think the idea of community is one that we try to cover in the chapter on collaboration, but community is very important. And, you know, it's one that we've always felt really passionate about at Catalyst, because the power of the Catalyst community is really what drives and helps us accomplish a lot of stuff. And I think community is way more important today, especially to younger leaders, than it's ever been, because we the power of a tribe, in social media and in technology and things that get bumped up to the top on YouTube. Like there's so much of our culture, especially in terms of how we lead and how we influence, that's driven by community. And even in the church, like there's a huge, obviously the missional approach to community and really reaching out into your neighborhood and being focused on the local as well as the global is really important. So that's another one that I think, it's hard to say, is community an essential of a leader? Well, semantics wise, that's hard to say, but I do think it's really, really important. And I guess I would say it more as that you have to be in community as a leader in order to lead well and be a catalyst leader. So that's a couple that we wanted to include but couldn't.